Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about the sneaky and sometimes not so sneaky ways your mind gets manipulated every single day, and more importantly, how you can actually start to fight back.
I mean, think about that word for a second. Hacked. It sounds intense, right? But it's totally accurate. These are systems, built by some of the smartest people in the world, specifically designed to grab your attention and guide your choices. And the crazy part is, most of the time, you don't even see it happening.
So where does all this begin? Well, for a lot of us, it's right here, in the palm of our hand. Let's start with what I like to call the scroll trap, and get into how social media is literally engineered to be addictive. The psychology here is actually pretty wild. You know that pull to refresh motion you do 100 times a day? That's basically a digital slot machine. Every single pull could give you a reward, a like, a new message, a funny video. Each one of those gives you a tiny little hit of dopamine in your brain, which makes you want to pull the lever again and again. And the algorithms, they just create this bottomless pit of content that makes it feel almost impossible to look away.
So, how in the world do you escape the trap? You've got to be intentional. You have to break the cycle yourself. First off, turn off all those notifications that aren't absolutely essential. Those little red bubbles are designed to make you anxious. Second, go into your phone settings and actually set time limits for these apps. And third, and this is a big one, schedule real, actual phone-free breaks. It's all about putting a little bit of friction between you and that mindless scroll.
Now, this whole manipulation game isn't just about keeping your eyes glued to a screen, it's also about getting into your wallet. And that brings us to the FOMO engine, and how advertising basically weaponizes your own emotions against you. Ever see a message like limited time offer or hurry, only 3 left in stock? Yeah, that's not just helpful information. It's a perfectly crafted psychological trigger. It creates this artificial sense of urgency and scarcity, tapping directly into our deepest fear of missing out. It makes you feel like if you don't act right now, you're going to be left out. It's a really powerful 1-2 punch of fear and desire.
The best defense against this is, well, it's surprisingly simple. Before you hit that buy button, just pause. Seriously. That one moment is often enough to break the emotional spell. Use that pause to look up some honest, objective reviews. And then ask yourself the killer question. Do I actually truly need this? Or do I just want it because of how that ad made me feel?
All right, let's move on to our third big manipulator. And honestly, this might be the most personal one of them all. Let's talk about the comparison game and the huge impact of influencer marketing. Look, when you're scrolling your feed, you're not seeing real life. You're watching a performance. It's a highlight reel. You see the perfectly clean homes, the flawless vacations, the ideal bodies. And even if we know it's not real, we can't help but subconsciously compare our own messy, complicated, real lives to that manufactured perfection. And what's the result? You start to feel like you're not enough. You feel incomplete. And oh, how convenient, there's always a product for sale that promises to fix that very feeling. So how do you win a game that's rigged from the start? You stop playing by their rules. First things first, do a feed audit. If an account consistently makes you feel crummy about yourself, just unfollow it. Your mental peace is worth way more. Second, try to actively shift your focus from what you don't have to what you do have. Practice a little gratitude. And third, you have to burn this into your brain. Comparison is a trap. You're always comparing your behind-the-scenes footage to someone else's highlight reel. Okay, after talking about the scroll trap, the FOMO engine, and the comparison game, yeah, it can all feel a little depressing. But this next part, this is the most important message of this whole thing. This is about taking back control, because it's your mind and you get to make the rules. And that, right there, is the absolute key. The real power of all these techniques is that they're invisible. They work best when you have no idea they're even happening. But now, you know. Now you can spot the dopamine loops. You can recognize the fake urgency. You can see the comparison trap for what it is. And just having that knowledge, that awareness, gives you the power to pause, to choose differently, and to take back control of your own attention and your own choices. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you know what you're looking for, where have you seen these tactics pop up in your own life? Maybe even just this week. Because just noticing them, that's the first and honestly, the most powerful step you can possibly take.